Hello.
Yo,
Was this Jeremiah?
that was Jeremiah.
Perfect. Cool. So we'll wait for everyone else to jump on here. Sorry about my tardiness.
No worries at all. You're a busy, successful person. No one can be mad at that.
Yeah, the in Dallas there's a big thunderstorm, so a bunch of planes got delayed, and mine was one of them. But luckily, I had a crazy taxi driver that drove like a literal madman to get me home, and I feel a little bit nauseous now, but it's all good. I'm here.
Those taxi drivers are the best, though. They get you where you need to go.
Yeah, but at the same time, I much prefer Uber drivers, but my phone was dead, so I couldn't even order an Uber. So I was like, I'm just going to go with this taxi.
Dang. Yeah, that sucks.
And I don't know what it is about. I guess they just either have really crappy cars that have no like proper stopping mechanisms, but it was like stop, go, stop, go. My stomach was like flipping upside down and the AC wasn't working. And I was like, just get me home. All right, so looks like we've got Nathan, Noah, Nick, and Jeremiah. This is awesome. I know we should have Veronica Slater, who's a new addition to the 100K Alliance, jumping on. She just popped out a 22K week, so that's really exciting. Grant Strayer is also a new addition to the 100K Alliance, and he was just #1 in the nation this past week with the 23K week. So we've got some heavy hitters joining us. I'm really pumped. For this call, we're going to make it quick. I know how busy you guys are. I recognize that. I recognize the grind is on, the push is here. Before we dive into the basics of the call, I just want to say how proud I am of all of you for the commitment that you've shown thus far. I'm really, really proud to see everyone updating the group me with their demo goals, their demo creation goals, their sales goals, and then of course at the end of the night, seeing how close you are to the daily sales goal in addition to daily wins and a challenge. So continue doing that, guys. I hope that it's helping you out, seeing what other people are doing, also thinking about how you won the day. That's a huge component of having a steady and positive mindset throughout the entire push. And then finally, I looked at all of your Excel spreadsheets, and for the most part, you guys did a phenomenal job. So I wanted to recognize you for all of that. There are a few of you that I want to work on specifically on how to better fill it out for the next time, but we've got 2 more that you'll be filling out between now and the end of the push. So we've got time to get on top of all of that. So the way that we're going to do this call here, and I see that it's either Veronica or Christian just jumped on. Who is Veronica, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So here's how we're going to do this call. We're going to go in order. So the way that I see Noah's going to be first, Jeremiah's second, Nick is third, Nathan's fourth, Bryce is fifth, and then Veronica, you are sixth here. And we are going to go around and we're all going to share one thing that's hot in their office right now, or if there's more than one thing, go ahead, share some things that are hot. Also share something that you've been implementing that you feel like has been working in your favor. In other words, I want you to think of something that other people on this call can learn from. So whether it be a certain phoning technique or time management skill or getting people to really max out their schedule, I want you to think about something that you are doing that's working that other people can learn from. And then this is optional, because if you're not running into a challenge yet, I don't want you to make up some kind of challenge. But if there's a challenge, which for the most of you I'm sure there is, that you're currently facing, whether it be personal sales or your team sales, I want you to bring that up. And then we will, as a collective group, try to offer you a solution to your particular challenge. Does anybody have any questions on that layout? I'm going to take the silence as a no. So Noah, you are first, my man. What are some of your wins? What's something that's working, and what are the challenges you need help with?
Okay. One win I have is tomorrow's phone jam. I have 14 people confirmed. Not my whole team, but they're all my reps that I want doing demos. So that's a plus. And then I have to run training tomorrow and Thursday due to some family stuff. So I have 7 absolute studs set for training, all PRs. So exciting to get some momentum. And then one challenge I'm having that I want to bring up, which might help a couple people, is how should I shift my focus on managing my team while I'm traveling?
Traveling, when you mean traveling, what do you mean by that? Are you going someplace with
So
family?
yeah, as for example, Thursday right after training is finished, I have to drive 3 hours to go to Wilmington. My sister's getting married this weekend, so I'll be out of commission besides phone calls all day Friday and Saturday.
Cool. Okay. That's a great challenge that you're facing. Anybody want to jump in and give him a tip or two that has worked for you?
This is Jeremiah. I would say, like, when I'm running, or if I'm, like, super busy, if I'm running training like that, if you have a really solid AM, I would say just have them, like, drive demos and take the calls when you absolutely can't. Like, obviously, like, during the wedding reception when you can't get up, like, you can't take calls, and I would have your AM just take your calls. And those little hour spurts where you absolutely know you can't get up and answer the phone if you do trust them enough. And that'd be my idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm a big proponent of leveraging your leaders and giving them the opportunity to kind of step into your role. I would set the precedence with your team that if it's absolutely urgent and it's a matter that only you can handle, then they should double tap you. So that way you know it's urgent. And then, of course, during the ceremony and during the situations where you really can't answer your phone, like set that, just like Jeremiah said. Do you feel like that could be a helpful solution to the challenge you're facing, or are you looking for something else?
No, that definitely helps. That's along the lines of what I was thinking. I was also thinking maybe reach out to some of the other managers in my region and just saying, hey, if a rep absolutely needs it, they might reach out to you. And I feel like they would all be more than willing to help me out.
Good. And how's your group me culture with your team?
I just actually recently started it, and it's going pretty well for the push so far.
Cool. So that's another area where I would set the tone and the precedence with everybody that's out selling. You know, hey, I'm at my sister's wedding. They will all understand. Here is the normal PDI number, or here's the new PDI number for the time that I'm out. Also utilize the group me and give us hot updates in the group me. And if you have questions, I'm sure other people in the group me can help you out with those questions too. So, you know, have the AM as your main PDI person. If it's urgent, have them double tap you, and then also utilize the group me to really create that communication between your team. Cool?
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem. All right, we're going to move on to, did I say Nick was next?
Oh, I actually have a little tip as well with the manager reaching out.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah. So,
by the way, this is Nathan?
This is Nathan, by the way.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so I have a big one. I had to go to Louisville for a weekend during the week during SC1, my last week at SC1, and I reached out to my district manager, and his name's Mitch Stevens, and I reached out to him just saying, hey, you know, I just found the guys that had a bunch of demos lined up, and the people that had a ton of demos, I just shot them like a PDI call the day before and was like, hey guys, I'm going to be out of town for this reason. You'll be directing all your PDI calls to Mitch for the next 2 to 3 days. And then it was just, I talked to him after I got back, and they were like, hey, that was really cool, because they got to hear it from another person's voice, like PDI from someone else. And he gave them unique tips that I wasn't able to give just because, you know, I'm a different person. So I think it was really beneficial for the team as well.
Cool. I love that. No, that's another great tip right there. Well, thanks, Nathan. All right, moving on to Nick Hankel. All right, so what are some of your wins? What is something that's working that you can teach others in this group? And then what is a challenge you're facing?
One of the wins that I have is there was 2 reps that I had to come in yesterday for them to do a demo in front of me because they were struggling. They were on a streak of like 4 or 5 no sales each. And then the one went out and sold a signature set today, and the other one after there's like 5 consecutive no sales had like, yeah, I think his biggest day ever. So it was really cool to see them like get faith and then post it in the Snap group that we have, and then fire all the other reps up. Like it, and I didn't have to do anything. Like it was just part of the culture. So it was really cool.
That is really cool. I love it.
Thank you. It was really cool. I liked it. I will tell you that one of the challenges that I faced, or that I am facing, is people are continually late to like, I don't want to say everything, but it's very frequent, and it's always the same people. And I get that there's always going to be those people that are going to be late, but I don't know how to stress the importance of like, you're missing information because you're missing the first 15 minutes of our kickoff meeting.
Okay. So I want us to all help you out with that. And then I want to go back to your conversation you had with those 2 reps today, because I think other people can learn from what you did with those 2 reps as your teaching topic. Sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. So who has a tip or something that's worked for them in their office as it pertains to they're continuously late?
I have a really good one. It's Nathan again. So I don't know. It depends on like the culture of your office, but I'm a very laid back, kind of joking kind of person. And what we do is this is what Chad Vordenberg does in his office. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Oh. Yes, Nathan, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I cut out. But basically, this is what Chad does in his office. And whenever someone comes in late or drastically late, everyone in the entire meeting stands up and just gives them a round of applause. And it makes them feel very awkward, but also gives them the hint that, hey, you're late. Don't do this again. And during the team meeting, I just sit with them and I'm like, hey, remember those applause? Do you know why that is? And it's like, hey, let's make sure that doesn't happen again. Because how does that look on you and how does that look on me? And that kind of conversation is really, really powerful.
Cool. I like it.
I like that too. That's a new way of doing things. Cool. Nick, did that help you out? I think that's going to work?
Yeah, because my resolution was not that. It was the other way. It was the
what? You froze. Hello? I can't hear you, Nick.
Oh my gosh, did he die?
What's that? Did he die?
I said, did he die?
No, Nick, are you there? I see your face. Can't hear you? Hello? Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next person. And Nick, we're going to figure this out because I want to hear how your conversation went with your people. So maybe log out and log back in. I don't know if he's getting any of that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to Jeremiah. So what is a win, and what is something that you could teach other people, and then what's a challenge you're facing?
One of my wins, I guess my win and what I could teach other people is like probably the same thing as I went field training with all of my top reps today, and they got like a lot of, like each rep got something different, but all of my reps, like all the reps that I went field training with today are over 10K, so they all learned something different. Like one of them learned, oh my gosh, you're really good at rapport. Another one learned, like, oh wow, like that's how you close the correct way. And one of them like blown away by the way I like built the value with the knife. So they all learned something different from it, and which they all implemented, and they're gonna go implement it all tomorrow. One of the challenges that I'm facing is definitely with like a lot of reschedules and with like low average orders for the start of the push, even for my top people right now. So that would be like two challenges that I'm like facing.
Okay. Quick question on the field training. So did they come field training with you, or did you go field training with them?
So it was their demo, but I like did the demo for them.
Okay, awesome. And then did you have like a debrief session afterwards where you found out what they learned?
Yes, because we met at the office, and then I drive them there, and then we drove back to the office. So during that drive back, we would debrief.
Okay, great. That's really, really helpful. I love that you did that. All right, so for your challenge, does anybody have any tips or things that have helped them in their office with their reps not having many reschedules? Anyone? Hello?
Reschedules, I have one phrase that I personally add into my phone calls that's kind of hot. I got it from a CSP in our division, and it's something that I have all my reps add in if they're comfortable saying it. And it goes something along the lines of this. Hey, Miss Jones, I know to you it's just some knife guy coming over to show you some cool products, but to me, I look at it as an investment in my education, and for that, I can never thank you enough. So again, I look forward to seeing you at blank at blank.
That's
It,
fire.
it kind of shows their customers that, hey, I appreciate what you're doing for me. Even if you're not buying anything, you're taking out the time to help me out.
Good.
I know to you it's just some knife guy showing you a product, and then what was the rest of it?
Yeah, but I look at it as an investment in my education. And for that, I could never thank you enough.
That is super fire. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And when I'm in training, I actually have my reps write that in their white manual on the phone approach.
So you have
Definitely saying it's fire.
I have them doing that right from training because I think it's basic enough that it doesn't throw them off. And I tell them, I'm like, hey, if you're not comfortable saying it, then don't say it. But I feel like for my top reps that have the confidence, they add that in and it makes a big difference.
That's huge. That's huge. Jeremiah, you think that's going to help you out?
Yeah, that's like I've never heard that before, so that definitely helps me out a lot.
Cool. Now, in regards to your second challenge of people having small orders to start the push, are these reps that normally have small orders or they normally have decent size orders?
They normally have decent size orders, so.
Okay. So what that just comes down to is making sure that you're managing their expectations and emotions for the push. So if you remember when I was on your branch elevation call last week, and by the way, I also recorded myself basically doing the exact same talk in the branch impact page. So if you wanted to reference that message I gave, you can find it on the branch impact page. But it really comes down to making sure that they are committing to the actions and that they know that not everybody's push starts out the way they actually want it to. And I think about my example where I came in and I was already a 40K rep at this time. Like I was already a rock star in the region, but I made 300 phone calls and scheduled 3 demos. And I felt pretty crappy, but my manager did a really great job of just reminding me that there's averages for a reason and that crazy things will happen in the process. But what's really important is just staying committed to the actions and continuing to believe in yourself. And the great news is you still have 17 or 16 days left in your push. So you're going to get the worst days out right in front and the rest of the best days are in front of you. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, it was just.
Hey, I was just gonna say this is.
That's what I was just like saying too. I was like, oh yeah, she's like the start of the push. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So, okay, perfect.
And I heard Christian jump in there. What did you want to say, Christian?
Yeah, sorry. I just want to apologize for not making the call right away. I have a brand new rep that's rolling a pretty solid order and needing my help on PDI, and it took forever. I was trying to get through it.
It's okay. Did you want to add something to Jeremiah, or do you just want to tell us that?
Well, I was actually just gonna say I actually just jumped on when I heard that phoning tip and that phoning tip, and I'd never heard that before either. I'm gonna use that like literally on my next phone call.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, Jeremiah, what is a teaching topic that you can share with people?
What's what?
A teaching topic.
A teaching topic?
Yes.
Well, definitely. I mean, definitely keeping because we're having squad meetings in the morning at 8 a.m. And what we do is we do a whole point system. I don't know if everyone else is on the point system or not, but if they're late, they get minus a point. You know, like if they sell X amount, they get a point. Like there's a whole big point system behind it. And I told the top team, whoever has the most points, I'm gonna take them out on a day like on me, and we'll all go do something like all on me, and we'll just all hang out as a team. So that's been like keeping people in check and everything else.
Okay, cool. So for the sake of time, would you mind kind of summarizing the point system in the group me so that people who don't know what that is or they're not familiar can reference that?
Yeah, definitely. I'll dive in on what every single point means and stuff like that, and I'll put it in the group me.
Amazing. I appreciate that. Okay, Nick Henkel, I want to go back to you really quickly, and I want you just to walk us through in 2 minutes or less how your conversation went with your 2 people yesterday.
Wait, were you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Nick Hankel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's on. He might not be on right now. Okay. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to go to Nathan Alvarado.
All right, so I would say a big win for me is really just our team sales have been just slightly above what my personal sales are, which is exciting for me. But I want my team to do well. I'd rather my team do well than me. So the big thing was emphasizing the rule of 6, because my manager Mitch, he was like a very low average order kind of rep, and he hit this rule of 6 every single day. And he's like, hey, like, remember like how I was a rep, and like I was talking to Mitch about it, and I was like, it's frustrating. And he was telling me how, just emphasize the rule of 6. And I've been doing that over the past, the past.
Oh, you cut out.
I've had them more focused on. Yeah, I know. I apologize. I was more focused on. I'm more focused on the rule of 6 than the results, and tying every team member, no matter how well they're doing or how poorly they're doing, into that rule of 6. And if they're hitting
the
that
rule of 6, you're gonna have 6 crappy days, 6 average days, and 6 great days. Is that the rule of 6?
No. So the rule of 6 is doing 6 demos of some sort. So whether doing demos or creating a demo through a phone jam. Say they have 4 demos set for the day, scheduling 2 demos. Or if they only have 1 demo for the push, scheduling 5. And if they're creating 6 demos, whether they're doing one or setting one up on the phone every single day of the entire push, like that's going to be a monster push for them. And having them focus on that no matter how well they're doing or how poorly they're doing. And I think that's been really good. No matter how well someone's doing, they're tying into that rule of 6 goal. And I think that's really big. The one thing that I'm struggling with is I know a lot of branches in here are 2-time branches, and you've been through a SC2 push before. And my big thing is our team meetings are on Wednesday nights, and a team, like how to address the beginning of the push, because we have all sorts of people in different spots, and how to address the push to a group of people at a team meeting.
Okay. Interesting challenge. So I actually think that Nick Hankel is the only senior branch that's in this alliance. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think Nick is the only one. So Nick, do you have an answer for that?
I just caught the tail end of the question. I heard about how to start the push, and because we had people in different spots, correct?
Yeah. So Nathan, do you mean like people at different skill levels?
Yeah, so we have we have people that obviously don't have as much in career sales, don't have as high of an average order, and they're not performing as hot as they want. We have people that I didn't think would be performing as hot as they are, and I have people that are like my top people, and some of them are having below average results, and some of them are doing just fine. But how to address like the opening comments of the team meeting for the push, I think is going to be really important to set like the tone right away. And what I would say to address that, because like I've just been thinking
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
So yeah, sorry, so one of the things that I would do. This is Nathan, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So one of the things that I would do is just like training, how we cater to all the people. Like you have your high flyers, your like middle of the road kids, and your low flyers. So for the low flyers in training, you promote the average, right? Because that's what they're shooting for, right? And for your high flyers, you're promoting the opportunity, like the income opportunity, the fast start levels, all that stuff. You can do the same thing in your opening comments to address your team. So like, hey guys, for this push, some of you guys have been around for a long time. You're going to have above average expectations because you have above average skills. Like tell them about the opportunity, but also promote the average so that if your top people are frustrated with their results, they still feel good because they don't feel like they suck because they at least hit the average. Does that make sense? And your lower quality people will rise to the average.
I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I also want to jump in on
Does that help?
So Nathan, I wouldn't overthink this. in a way where you're afraid of scaring people away, because when you're in your team meeting, what it comes down to is just the excitement and the energy that you create through what you say and how you say it. And from what I know, having done a lot of public speaking in my life, is it's not always what you say, but it's how you say it. And so if you just get really excited about what's to come and get really fired up and just create a new atmosphere of excitement, you're going to hit on everyone's heartstrings in a different way. And what Nick said is great, where you can incorporate like the different things that each person can get out of the SC2 push, whether it be the opportunity to grow like they haven't grown yet, whether it be an opportunity to really step into high gear after being here for a couple of months and having decent results, or whether it be the opportunity to hit, the next 3 promotion levels and get to 10K. You can say all of those things in a team meeting intro talk, but what it really comes down to is the excitement and the enthusiasm that you bring to the message that you're sending to everybody. And then during your team meeting, making sure that you are trying your best. And I know that sometimes you don't have the time to sit down with every person individually, but you know me, I harp on individual conversations like nobody's business, because what it really comes down to is then honing in on each individual person in a 10, 12-minute conversation of like, hey man, so what do you think of the intro talk? Like, are you excited about SC2? Okay, great. So I know that you right now are at 3K in sales. I know you've been here for the last 2 months. So did I make you nervous at all when I mentioned like going after 20K? Because I wouldn't be surprised if I did. And then like see what they say. Like, cool. Well, here's the reality. These next 18 days, there are people that don't just double their career sales in these next 18 days. There are people that like quadruple their career sales these next 18 days, because magic happens. So if you're interested and you're willing to, give a 10% more commitment, we can take you from 3K and get you to 6K or 10K. So what do you think about that? And that's how you would address like the lower to middle tier flyers in an individual conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's huge. Thank you.
Yep, cool. All right. Let's move on to Christian Mancino. So give us a win, or give us, some wins, give us some challenges, and give us a teaching topic really quickly. Christian Mancino, I'm looking for you, man. All right, we're going to move on to Bryce Zemer. Okay, wait. I think Christian just jumped on. Christian?
I literally just heard my last name. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, Christian, give us a win. Give us what's working in your office right now, and then give us a challenge that you're trying to focus on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a win is my key staff is overperforming right now. They sold 10K, like between yesterday and I think just like last weekend, this past weekend. Like between Sunday and Monday, they sold like 10K, like the weekend warrior thing. So like my key staff like woke up, which was really exciting. That's been my biggest win, because I want them to lead us, to where we want it to, to 100K. And then my biggest challenge still, like by far, is Camps Club attendance and just getting people into the office to phone. And like obviously my top 2-3 reps, they make quite a lot of phone calls pretty religiously, and they keep track of it and share with me what they're doing at home. But for the other like 85% of my team, I just can't get them in the office. I don't know what it is. Where it's just like people will say they're coming in, and then all of a sudden something comes up, like a kid, like a kid going in for an interview and then just making an excuse. So I would say that like that's where I'm at.
Cool. I'm really interested to see Jeremiah Williams post his point system that he was talking about at the beginning of the call, because I think that could be an area that would help you with creating better attendance. But does anybody else have any tips for Christian about driving attendance to Champs Club?
And just demo creation in general.
Cool.
I have a big one.
Okay, go ahead. Who is it?
It's Nathan, by the way. I like to tie them into why it's important for them rather than just like, hey, like you should do this. I always talk about the main things. I'm like, what excites you about, like, why do you work here? Like, what excites you? Why are you a part of this business? Why do you work with us? And they explain why. And usually one of their whys, like why they like working here, is going to tie into attendance. So whether it's money, whether it's experience, you'd be like, well, do demos get you experience? Do demos get you money? Do demos get you this or that? And usually the answer is yes. And you just say, well, why do you think I run meetings? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, there's only 2 reasons I run meetings. And it's to help you get better at the job and learn, or book demos. Think about training, think about advanced training, think about team meetings. What do? All I do is teach you and book more demos. And that's going to help you towards your goal. And I don't have those meetings to just have you here. I have things to do. I could be doing other things. The reason I do it is to make you better. And I just want you to understand that it's coming from a point of experience. And you can tell stories about other reps. You can tell stories about yourself. But that's like a really big thing, is like what gets them excited about the job, and then hitting on like tying that into the attendance.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's move on to Bryce Zemer.
So wins, I recruited 17 people today. Challenge, I only have 1 person on my alliance. And I've still been running the office at like maximum capacity. So I haven't been like doing any PDI throughout the day. I can only do it like right in the morning and then right at night. So I kind of feel like my reps don't do anything all day until I talk to them at night, and they make like 10 phone calls before they go to bed.
Okay. So how is your morning PDI in terms of setting expectations for creating demos and, accomplishing demos?
I talked to them about like their goal for the day, and their goal for like the next day. And they're always short. So I ask them like what their plan is, and like, oh, I'm going to make this many phone calls. And then I kind of talk to them about like, you could definitely make 10 phone calls and book 10 appointments. But like, let's be honest here, not everyone's going to pick up. Not everyone's going to schedule with the same day. So like, what do you really think? And then I kind of like lead them to their own conclusion of how many phone calls they need to make. And then I schedule a time for them to do it. And it's normally when I'm running an interview or I'm doing something throughout the day. And then I follow up with them at nighttime when I'm finally done working. But it's nighttime and they're like, oh yeah, I only made 5 out of my 20 phone calls. And then it's like 9 o'clock or 9:30, and it's just almost too late to make phone calls then. So like I've been struggling following up with my reps during their the times they're supposed to phone or times they're supposed to be on demos, just because I've been like running interviews or like other stuff within the office.
Okay, Bryce, how long does it take you to send 1 text message?
Not very long, I guess.
It probably takes you 10 seconds, especially if you copy and paste the same text message and send it to all 12 reps that you PDI'd in the morning. So that being said, yes, you're still running your office at full capacity, and I love the fact that you recruited 17 people. Like, you have your 10K fast starter in that 17 people that you just recruited. Like, that's huge. That's massive. So congratulations. But at the same time, I know that there is 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, where you can send out text messages, or you can make a quick phone call to follow up with your people before 9 p.m. at night. So it's just a matter of holding yourself that level of accountability. So doing what you have to do, whether it be setting a reminder in your phone, like for example, today I had made an appointment with someone to have a phone call, and I knew that if I didn't put a reminder on my phone, I would have forgotten to call them. So I put a reminder in my phone that said, call this person at 1 p.m. So at 1 p.m., my phone went off, and I was like, okay, I'm going to call them. Had I not done that, given the fact that I was at an airport, going through security, dropping off my rental car, I would have totally forgotten. And when you're a branch manager, your mind is in 7 different directions. So utilize like the easy around, like your phone alarm to remind yourself to go and text this person. So after your morning PDI, make a note of when these people are when they say they're gonna be phoning, and then put the alarm in your phone. Like, let's say you talk to Will. Will says he's gonna be phoning. He's gonna make 20 phone calls between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So then you make an alarm on your phone to go off at 11 a.m. Text Will to follow up. Now you might be in an interview, but when you get finished that interview, you're gonna look at your phone and you're gonna see an alarm that says text Will. And so then you just pick up your texting thing and you send text to Will. So start doing that, because there's no reason why you can't follow up with them throughout the day and be accountable.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyone else have any other tips for Bryce? Bryce, do you feel like that's going to help you?
Yeah, I think that would be helpful, because I always take notes in my computer, and then my computer is being used for the interview. But I think if I just like put a reminder in my phone, I can just text them while they're watching the video for the interview. So I think that'll be helpful.
Yeah, totally.
I actually had like a little tip, if it was okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Bryce, this is Christian. The one thing I was just gonna say is understand that like you're on this call right now, and like we're invited into the alliance because of your current team. And like, I mean, recruiting like 17 people is like ridiculous. Like I know I certainly haven't come close to that in a day this summer, but just know that like you wouldn't be like, you know, talking with us on the phone right now if it weren't for your current team. So I just think that like to kind of like step back and understand that like, you know, your numbers are where you are, and you're doing so well because of them, might put into perspective that like they're worth your time to go ahead and like reach out to you rather than just keep focusing on the next person.
That's a good point to make, Christian. Thank you for that. Bryce, do we have time in the schedule to go over your Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah, I texted you. I don't know if you responded.
Let me look that up really quickly. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will respond back to you after this call is over. But your Excel spreadsheet, we can definitely look at that together because we can work on that together. Okay.
That sounds good.
Cool. All right, Veronica, you are up, my friends.
All right. So, everyone has some really great news. My great news is just like that I've had probably the best attendance at Champs Club that I've ever had this whole summer. I think the conference call definitely helped also. But it was like at least half of my team, if not more, that showed up to Champs Club this morning. But something that I definitely want to work on, there's like a couple of things. One, how to make Champs Club not just phoning, and also like when exactly to split up like the phoning time as well as like the skill building. Because I definitely feel like I could be providing more value during Champs Club. And then how to get people to field train with each other.
Cool. Does anybody have any tips for Veronica on those two areas?
I definitely do, but I figured that because I know Veronica well, like I would let someone else talk, just because I could tell her individually.
Well, whatever tips you have could probably help other people on this call. So.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, really quick. When I get kids into Champs, like I'm actually really productive with it. And so the way that I have them submit their schedules is every team meeting. I have a big Excel spreadsheet where they input all their demo times for the week. But I have it shared with everybody, so everyone else can see when everyone else's demos are, and then they can just direct message each other within the group me. Like, you know, they'll see my top rep Declan, and they'll be like, hey, you know, I see you have a demo Friday at 6. I know I'm free at that time anyway, that I can, you know, go with you. I also like give them time during the team meeting to schedule field training with each other. So that's what I do about field training. And then in terms of Champs, Veronica, what I could do actually, something me and Corbin created was, we, with our key staff, I think at the end of May, beginning of June, we created like the 7 most basic topics of Cutco. And then what we did was we scheduled each day being a specific topic for the week. And that was actually a tip that I got from Shelby because of, you know, just creating a workshop. That's just kind of the way I viewed it. So from 7:30 to 8 every morning before Champs, and then they phone from 8 to 9. we would go over whatever that topic was for the day. And so, for example, we then figured out which champs clubs were the most popular ones of the week. And we found out our Saturday 10 to 12 champs was the most popular. So then we talked about referrals then as an example, because that's where we think there's always room for improvement. And, just carry that throughout the week.
Cool. Christian, would you mind sending us all in the group me like what your 7 basic workshops are?
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Cool. So, Veronica, one thing though to also remember is this particular Champs Club, they do have value being added to them regardless of whether or not you are teaching them a topic, because one, they're being on that region-wide conference call. So they're getting into your office at 7:30. They're hearing from a top manager or a top salesperson on some teaching topic from 7:30 to 8. So really that 8 to 10 time period, it should be reserved for phoning. They should phone until they have that first demo of the day. That's at least for your alliance in particular. Now your newer reps, utilize that time to have PCs with them, utilize that time to build that connection and to work with them one-on-one. But look at the workshop list that Corbin has or Christian has, and see if there's a way to implement that in your 8 to 10 a.m. phone jam. But also remember, with the push in particular, you want to make sure that you're driving a huge amount of demo creation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Do you feel like that helped?
Absolutely.
Did anyone else have any tips for Veronica on getting people to do field training more or adding more value in Champs Club?
Something my manager did is just like at the end of every team meeting, he just set aside 5 minutes. He was like, okay, everyone take out your schedules and pick 2 field trainings to do with someone else. And he just told us to do it, and then everyone did it. And he just like set aside the last 5 minutes of the team meeting to do that.
Cool. Yeah, that's really important too. Making sure that you're actually directing that to happen is really valuable. And what's great now, Veronica, is that you can actually start taking them field training with you, or you can go field training with them like what Jeremiah did with his team. And so that can also help create the culture of field training right off the bat as well.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, did I miss anybody or did I hit everybody? Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so I hope this was helpful for all of you. Nick Henkel, I want you to wrap this call up with just a couple quick tips on how you helped those people in the PC yesterday, and then we will jump off here, okay?
Sure, and I'll keep it short. I know it's late, everybody. So for the one of them, what I have them start with is, I know that they can read about handle material. Okay, so I have them start with like selecting the best option, and I literally tell them, and this part's important, you have to preface this, tell them like, look, none of this is personal. I'm going to pick apart your demo because we just need to find the problem. I'm coming from a place of love and to help you, so please don't take offense. Because like not everybody's going to be sensitive about it, but you don't want to be in a situation where you demotivate them. You want to set them up to take the criticism in a constructive way. So that's the first part. And I just let them walk me through all the way down to customization. And I don't say anything. I just react like we role play it. And then I will do my close for them. And I'll do it differently. Like I'll do it the way that it's supposed to be done. And I'll ask them, what differences did you notice? And they were like, well, first of all, this, and this, and this. And then if they miss any of them, I'll fill in the gaps. And then I'll have them re-practice it with me the way that I taught them. And then it'll make them feel more confident and more comfortable about it. That's one of the things that I did. The other thing I would do is I did like some of the little tips with them. So like for prices, if the customer can't see it on paper, they can't see it in their budget. So like little stuff like that, telling them those little things that are those 1%ers to increase their average order, increase their sales closing ratio, that's value added, and you're fixing their demo. Is that kind of what you were looking for, Shelby?
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for that, Nick. I appreciate that. Cool. Well, I apologize for taking us a little bit longer than I had said originally, but I think, at least I hope you guys gained value out of hearing what everyone else was up to, hearing what other people are being challenged by. As you've probably noticed, you probably share a lot of the same challenges. So that being said, I hope that you really utilize the group me to continue this conversation, to continue growing and challenging one another and helping out one another. Quick reminders, please post your updates for tonight. How close you were to your sales goal, 3 wins, 1 challenge, how you overcame it. And then tomorrow morning at 9:30, we have a conference call with a guest star, Mr. Earl Kelly. He's the region manager of the Northeast region. He'll be covering the C-Zone, which is a document that I'm going to send to all of you on Facebook. This call will be recorded. If you cannot make it, that is okay. I understand this is a little bit last minute, but you did, all of you, well, not all of you, a lot of you asked for guest speakers, so I have set that up. We also have Jeff Fry as a guest speaker, and we have John Kane as a guest speaker coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I will send you all the details for the call tomorrow. Like I said, it will be recorded, but hopefully I will see you all on the call tomorrow morning. Talk to you later on, everybody.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah.